Just saying, it's a crazy time. You can't afford not to like black people. You don't like black people enough, you could become one yourself. I'm not the only black man with a bunch of mugs.
Right.
It's them young ones that coming.
Yes,
that'll do what you want.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me I'm independent. I pay my bills.
Right.
I pay the cost to be the boss. You the boss by yourself.
To NBC, it's cutting ties with its NFL commentator Shannon Sharpe. The move coming after Sharpe, of course, the Hall of Fame tight end, settled a lawsuit accusing him of sexual.
For that, but I just wished of all things, like I said, hey, they did what they felt they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that. But I just wish, guys, this thing could have waited until Monday.
Katt Williams just snapped on Shannon Sharpe, and trust, he didn't hold back. After ESPN dropped Shannon following his messy $50 million settlement with OnlyFans model Gabriella Zuniga, Katt came out swinging. He's basically saying Shannon has no one to blame but himself, especially after all that wise uncle advice he used to hand out like candy. Now he's the one looking foolish. The wildest part? Katt literally warned Shannon to his face. Sitting across from him on Club Shay, Katt told him straight up, messing with white women could get you caught up. And Katt made sure to say he's got nothing against white women. He even said white women are as great as any other women. But the message was loud and clear. Be smart, don't get finessed. And Katt wasn't the only one waving red flags. Monique came through and gave Shannon some real grown folk game, saying, you better take your old ass and get somebody to love you. That's real talk. But Shannon, he brushed it all off. And now, he's jobless, embarrassed, and caught up in a scandal that splattered across headlines everywhere. Instead of keeping it low-key and focused, he gambled his reputation and lost big time. Katt ain't gloating for nothing. He tried to save him, but Shannon chose chaos instead. And now to make things even worse, ESPN cut ties for good. Let's keep it real. Ain't no major network jumping to hire someone whose name is now tied to a massive SA lawsuit settlement. That's career-ending heat right there. And Katt Williams, he's posted up like, I told you this was gonna happen. Sources close to Shannon are saying Katt got zero sympathy for him. UNC had it all, one insider said, and he blew it just being reckless. They're saying Katt didn't randomly start warning him about white women. Nah, Katt had the inside scoop. He allegedly knew Shannon was messing around with that young OnlyFans model way before the lawsuit even went public. So when Katt gave that warning on Club Shay, it wasn't just general advice. He was looking Shannon dead in the eye. Even though it sounded like Katt was talking about the Jonathan Majors situation, turns out he was actually throwing shade straight at Shannon. That's wild. And here's where it gets even more brutal. Shannon thought coughing up millions in that settlement would save his job and calm the storm. But nah, ESPN wasn't buying it. They still showed him the door. And that OnlyFans model, she got paid big time, while Shannon's left out here jobless and played. Damn! Yo, get this. Gabriella Zuniga, the same model who just secured that massive settlement from Shannon Sharpe, quit OnlyFans literally 24 hours after the news broke. She hit Instagram with a big announcement. Today I have decided to retire from OnlyFans. Thank you for the incredible support you've shown me for the past few years. This community has given me a life I could never have imagined. I'll still be active on social media and have several new projects in the works that I can't wait to share. I'm truly excited for this next chapter. That's right, Shannon didn't just pay her off, he retired her. She walked away from the game with enough cash to live comfortable for life, all thanks to one lawsuit and one 50-year-old man who got a little too reckless. This is wild, and fans are not letting Shannon off the hook. They're calling him out for getting finessed and being a walking contradiction. Why? Because this is the same man who once proudly said he wouldn't spend more than $30,000 on his own daughter's wedding. But then, boom, leaked texts showed he was dishing out $25,000 per sheet to the OnlyFans girl. Yes, per sheet. One person on X said, it needed to happen to expose how much of a hypocrite Shannon is. Another wrote, Shannon Sharpe has done a lot of wrong, but hearing he was cheap about his daughter's wedding while dropping millions on an ex-worker, that was the last straw for me. This ain't just scandal, it's straight up embarrassing. People been giving Shannon the hardest side eye ever, and honestly, it's well deserved. Folks are saying, you dropped millions on a young white girl who saw you as an easy target? That's straight foolish. She played him like a fiddle, and the worst part, he never saw it coming. And just when it couldn't get more embarrassing, boom, ESPN dropped him for real. No statement, no sympathy, no explanation. When People magazine reached out for a comment, ESPN didn't even acknowledge the man, just ghosted him like he never existed. Now Shannon finally broke his silence on July 30th during his Nightcap podcast. He claimed he was at peace with how things ended, but then admitted something real. He actually begged ESPN to delay the announcement of his firing until after his older brother Sterling Sharpe was inducted into the Hall of Fame. Why? Because Shannon knew that his scandal and termination would completely overshadow Sterling's big moment. He even apologized to his brother on air, saying he didn't want to steal his shine. But guess what? ESPN and Disney didn't care one bit. They shut him down cold and went forward with the drop. And here's the most savage part. Shannon was this close to signing a $100 million deal before the lawsuit wrecked it all. That deal would have locked in all his She media shows. Club Shay Shay, Nightcap with Chad Johnson, Club 520 Podcast, The Bubba Dub Show, and Humble Baddies. Every single one of them was part of the plan, until everything came crashing down. From a $100 million empire to internet jokes overnight, all because he didn't move smarter. Let's talk facts. On April 18th, just 3 days before Gabriella filed that lawsuit, Front Office Sports reported Shannon was on track to sign a deal worth over $100 million. That's not a rumor, that's real. And now, not only is that bag gone, but Shannon fumbled his entire seat at ESPN and lost any chance of working with any company under the Disney umbrella. That includes ESPN, ABC, Hulu, basically every major media player out there. When you take a hit this messy in public, and yeah, this one's real messy, it's damn near impossible to clean it up. The damage is done. All those big dreams of turning She media into a podcast empire, gone. The minute he got caught up with a 19-year-old white girl who saw him as a come-up, the whole operation collapsed. And this is exactly what Katt Williams warned him about. That's why nobody's rushing to defend Shannon. He had the power, the fame, the deals lined up, and he threw it all away, chasing something that never had love for him in the first place. So what do you think? Is Shannon's downfall all his own fault? Did ESPN move too fast by cutting ties? And how do you feel knowing this man dropped millions to settle with an ex-OnlyFans model, but still kept his own daughter's wedding capped at $30,000? And just when you thought it couldn't get any messier, people are now digging deeper into Shannon's past, and the receipts are stacking up. Screenshots, old podcast clips, text threads. It's all resurfacing, and it's painting a picture of a man who's been playing both sides for years. One clip that's got fans heated shows Shannon clowning younger men for blowing money on women, calling them tricks and saying real men don't need to pay for attention. But now folks are throwing his own words right back at him like, so what were you doing with that $25,000 per sheet lifestyle UNC? The internet doesn't forget. Even crazier, some insiders claim Gabriella wasn't even the only girl Shannon was spending big on. Word is he had a pattern of tossing serious money around to young influencers and models, trying to keep everything quiet. But after this lawsuit, the silence is officially broken, and people are talking. Meanwhile, fans have been blowing up X, TikTok, and Reddit with side-by-side comparisons of how Shannon treats women he dates versus his own family. One post went viral saying, Shannon gave a stranger a mansion but gave his daughter a Motel 6 wedding budget. Brutal. What's wild is that this was supposed to be Shannon's next chapter. Media boss, brand builder, mogul status. But now, he's trending for all the wrong reasons, and nobody's coming to save him. It's not just a fall from grace, it's a crash landing. And now the streets are saying Shannon's downfall might be bigger than just the money. It's about reputation. Industry folks are already backing away, and some of his closest allies are going silent. Even a few former co-hosts and collaborators haven't said a word since the scandal broke. No reposts, no stand by my guy, nothing. That silence is loud. One source even said some sponsors had already started pulling back before the firing was made public. They saw the lawsuit coming, and they didn't want their brand anywhere near that storm. And now that the settlement is out and Shannon's image is in shambles, forget about endorsements. Even guest appearances are looking shaky. And while Shannon's trying to act like he's good, insiders say he's scrambling behind the scenes to salvage what's left of his media empire. Word is he's trying to rebrand, spin this as a lesson learned, maybe even start a redemption arc with a new show. But the public's not buying it yet, especially not when every new detail makes him look worse. One recent leak claims Shannon was warned by multiple people in his camp to keep his distance from Gabriella long before things got legal. But he didn't listen. Thought he had it all under control. And now he's out here looking like a cautionary tale. Shannon had the juice, the platform, the legacy, but one bad move, and now all that power is slipping away fast. And in this industry, you don't always get a second shot. And just when people thought the drama was cooling off, boom, more bombshells dropped. A former ESPN insider just revealed that Shannon's exit wasn't as mutual as his team tried to make it seem. Behind closed doors, execs were furious, not just about the lawsuit, but about how sloppy everything looked. The optics were bad. A high-profile anchor caught up in a scandal with a 19-year-old? Disney wasn't gonna stand behind that. And get this, Shannon reportedly tried to offer a private apology to ESPN leadership, hoping to keep some kind of consulting deal alive behind the scenes. But the response? Cold. They didn't want anything to do with his name anymore. Not now, not ever. Even some of his old NFL colleagues are starting to distance themselves. A few athletes who used to ride with Shannon on Club Shay have quietly unfollowed him, and fans caught it quick. One tweet went viral saying, "Shannon got ghosted by half the league in 48 hours. Ouch. Meanwhile, Gabriella, she's out here living her best life. Private jets, designer deals, podcast guest spots. She flipped that lawsuit into a launch pad. Some folks are even calling her the new age video vixen turned mogul. Whether you love her or hate her, she played this way better than Shannon did. And now, he's stuck watching his empire fall apart piece by piece, while the girl he tried to keep secret is shining brighter than ever. What a twist. Now here's the real kicker. People are starting to say Shannon's whole clean-cut image might have been capped this whole time. For years, he pushed that wise OG energy, always preaching discipline, focus, and staying out of trouble. But this scandal cracked that polished image wide open, and fans are now digging up everything they used to ignore. Clips from old interviews are resurfacing where Shannon bragged about flying women out, spending big, and living like a boss. But now those same quotes are getting side-eyed heavy. One fan posted, "He wasn't mentoring, he was tricking with a mic in front of him." And the comment section went crazy. Even deeper, rumors are swirling that this lawsuit might have just been the start. A few online bloggers are teasing that other women might come forward soon. Women who allegedly had similar arrangements with Shannon in exchange for silence. If even one of those stories drops, it could finish off what little brand value he has left. Meanwhile, Shannon's trying to push forward with his remaining podcast episodes, but the energy's different. The laughs feel forced. The guests ain't top tier anymore. And viewers, they're not tuning in like they used to. Numbers are dipping, and people are calling it the slow collapse of she media. He had the respect, he had the bag, he had the world watching, but one scandal, and now his name's tied more to gossip than greatness. This ain't just a fall from grace. It's a full-blown unraveling in real time. So now, here we are. The legend of Shannon Sharpe, once respected as a sharp-talking sports icon and media powerhouse, has turned into a cautionary tale. One reckless relationship, one massive lawsuit, one empire on the edge of collapse. And in the end, it wasn't the league, the critics, or the networks that took him down. It was his own decisions. He had the blueprint. The bag was guaranteed. The respect, locked in. But pride and poor judgment dragged it all into the dirt. While Gabriella walks away with the bag, brand deals, and a platform bigger than ever. Shannon's left with unanswered calls, burnt bridges, and a name that went from gold to gossip overnight. Katt Williams warned him. Monique gave him game. And the streets just watched it all play out like a slow-motion crash we knew was coming. But what do you think? Is this the end for UNC? Can Shannon redeem himself, or is this scandal the nail in the coffin for his legacy? Let us know in the comments, because this saga had it all. Betrayal, money, ego, and receipts. And you already know, if more bombs drop, we're covering every angle right here. So if you want the real story behind your favorite celebrities, no filters, no fluff, just raw truth and receipts, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on that bell. This is BarzBuzz, and we don't miss a thing.